Hi everybody, happy Friday. This is video 2 of 30, day 2 of 30 of the 30 Days of Me challenge that I am partaking in. Today I thought we could talk about what it is like after abuse, traumatic abuse, to learn how to be in public again. I don't know about those of you who've been through that, but that was one of the hardest things for me to learn how to do comfortably. And I still have days every now and then where I don't feel safe in public, but for the most part, I do now. It took me years though. So something that I would find myself frequently doing was watching all around me, especially in grocery stores or in wider open spaces, or if I was out at night. And this is as a result of being, followed in the past and having people coming into my workplace on behalf of my stalker and former abuser. And so there were different levels of it was a level of abuse, taken to another step. And so not everybody goes through that level of abuse, although the women that I work with, we tend to have gone through that type of situation. So hence the PTSD or severe anxiety and depression that a lot of us have. And it's interesting because, people wouldn't think about, people often think to themselves, well, you got out, you're safe now, why are you so nervous, or why do you still suffer the effects of this? And it's really quite common, more common than I think people understand, for a woman who is a survivor of severe abuse to feel this way when they're out in public, to feel unsafe. And so I just want to take today to mention the topic for anyone who's listening who hasn't been through it. It's hard sometimes for a woman who's been through abuse to verbalize exactly what it is that she's afraid of or why, or she'll feel that she shouldn't be, especially if someone who doesn't understand says something like, well, you should be over it by now. And what I found is it's usually close family members, and it's usually men. So keeping this in mind, if you're a male supporter or family member of a former abuse victim, that it's really not about should be's or have to be's or must be's. It's about the body's healing experience through trauma. And if treatment hasn't been sought, or the right kind of treatment hasn't been sought for abuse recovery, then the feeling of unsafeness out in the world is going to remain. So that's why it's imperative to find the proper type of therapists, the proper type of helpers on the abuse recovery journey. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I help women vet their counselors and their therapists before they hire them and spend all that money on someone who maybe has been classically trained and hasn't been trained in the trauma-informed or abuse recovery PTSD specialties. That's a little bit more about a day in the life of a trauma abuse survivor, and I'd love to know if there's any questions or comments. And remember, this is all coming from my expertise as a survivor of severe traumatic abuse, as well as the training that I've gained. However, I'm not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, so in the event that you are suffering extreme or severe pain or mental health crisis, and it's always important to get a hold of somebody right away who is definitely qualified in that way, licensed. So you can always call the National Sexual Abuse Hotline, or you can contact the National Suicide Hotline if that's something you're experiencing. And I'm going to start adding these to most of my posts and have them available more readily, because I have been having more people in crisis reach out to me, and I am happy to be a balm, but I'm not a licensed practitioner. So important to know that there is a time and a place for that. And again, that is what I can help you find, as someone who knows how to handle specifically a trauma survivor's experiences. And if you're a family member watching, that's also something you can do, is help someone vet the person that they're seeking out for help, because they are not all capable or qualified to help someone who's been through severe traumatic abuse. All right, thanks for listening. Hope you have a beautiful evening. Take care.